Now, before we get into how Nigeria is responding to Trump, because trust me, yes, they are responding, let's talk about the reality, because this isn't just a political story. It's also a human story. The truth is, violence against Christians and against people of faith in general is rising across Africa. A few months ago, I reported on how ISIS beheaded 70 Christians in the DRC and burning entire villages. While everyone's eyes have been fixed on the Middle East for the most part, ISIS and other extremist groups have quietly been expanding their influence across Africa, from the Sahel to Mozambique to the Congo, and yes, to Nigeria. And with that comes a disturbing pattern, the shrinking space for religious freedom. For millions of Christians across Africa, practicing their faith now comes with risk. The risk of violence, kidnapping, or death. According to several human rights organizations, Nigeria now ranks as one of the most dangerous countries in the world to be a Christian. On average, a Christian is killed every 2 hours in Nigeria, more than anywhere else on the planet. Since 2009, extremist violence from groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP has reportedly claimed over 52,000 Christian lives, destroyed thousands of churches, and displaced millions of families from their homes. And these aren't just numbers, right? They're mothers, fathers, pastors, and children whose only crime was faith. So yes, this is a real problem. But here's where it gets complicated. The violence isn't only about religion, because Muslims are being killed too. In fact, many of Boko Haram's victims have been Muslims who refused to join their movement or who spoke out against extremist ideology. According to research from the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, more than half of Boko Haram's victims since 2010 have been Muslim civilians. In the Middle Belt, where clashes between herders and farmers have killed thousands, the violence often has more to do with land, resources, and climate stress than it does with faith. So when we frame this purely as Christian versus Muslim, we lose sight of the real drivers, which are poverty, inequality, weak governance, and the absence of justice. That's the truth. Nigeria's crisis is as political and economic as it is religious. And that's why foreign bombs or airstrikes won't solve it. They might silence one group of extremists, but they won't fix the system that keeps creating them. This crisis deserves global attention, absolutely. But it also deserves African solutions grounded in understanding, in unity, and strategy.